Hey Chris, is that you? Damn! Hey Chris, is that you? Damn! Hey Chris, is that you? Damn!
So I want to get into real estate, but don't know where to start.
Well, what I would say
is to join the Future Cash Flow Club. It's a community of investors where we talk about wholesaling, we talk about creative deal structuring, buying houses subject to, all of the creative stuff that everybody's talking about. You don't need a real estate license or any of that.
Wow, where do I sign up?
Well, I would say go to futurecashflowclub.com. That's futurecashflowclub.com. You can even get a free trial. Try it out today.
Hey Chris, is that you? Damn.
Can you hear me? I don't know. If you don't know who I am by now, I don't know what you've been doing. You been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucker dummy. This how we do. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? This is the student master teacher, Mr. I Stay Woke, Chris Cashflow Money Monroe, and I'm right back at you with another real estate video. Today's video is being brought to you by FutureCashflowClub.com. Shouts out to all the elite members learning this stuff from the rooter to the tutor when it comes to real estate investing. Finding houses to do what we call wholesaling, finding houses to do what we call buying houses, finding houses for whatever purpose you want. And it doesn't just start with houses, it goes into commercial and otherwise. But one thing is for sure, and two things is for certain. When you're doing real estate, it's a people business. Somebody got to sign that paperwork. Somebody got to take a pen and sign in front of your friend called a notary. And that's how they transfer real estate. Black ink on white paper. So it really is not something that you feel like you can just do it all by yourself. You know, real estate is really not a by yourself thing. You can, but it'll be harder. It's much easier to develop and get a good team around you, people to help you with it. Whether you're talking about your title company, whether you're talking about your escrow attorney, depending on your market you're in, whether you're talking about whoever's helping you generate leads, because we got to get some leads. Somebody got to know you exist out here. You got to make some noise for sure. And also, you know, all the other stuff, fixing the house, dispo the house, everything. You know, there's a lot of things. One real estate transaction might have 15 or 20 people eating off that one deal. Why don't you get your slice of that pie? If a deal goes through and 20 people eating, why aren't you one of those 20 people? That's the question you got to ask. Whether you're the buyer, whether you're the seller, whether you're the home inspector, whether you're the real estate agent, that's what most people try to go do, get their license. And you can do that if you want to work for others and provide a service. There's nothing wrong with that if that's what you decide to do. But that's not the path that I decide. I decide I want to be the investor, the one who benefits from the monetary upside of real estate. Because there's always going to be some kind of payment being sent. So why not be in the middle of that payment where you collect a payment every month like they do? Be like the bank. The bank collect checks every month. They loan out money, but they get money every month. What if you was able to put yourself in the middle of a deal where you can get money every month? We call that cash flow. Cash flow. For example, you got to pay $500 a month for the house, but somebody giving you $1,500 a month for the same said house. That extra $1,000 goes in the hip pocket national bank. At your pocket, by the way. That's money you get to keep to do whatever you decide to do. Whether you want to do something other than real estate, whether you want to open another type of business, whether you just want to live a lifestyle. It's freedom, but freedom ain't free. So give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a share if you care. Good to see the ones hopping in. And you know, today I actually knocked on a couple of doors. Can you believe that? I said, well, let's see. I'm in this neighborhood, and I know this is a pretty popular neighborhood. So I did what's called door knocking. Now, how do I find these people that I'm going to knock? Very simple. There's multiple places you can find them. And this is specifically talking about a pre-foreclosure lead. You can do this on any kind of lead, but I like pre-foreclosures because those people have a gun to their head saying, hey, take action or we're going to take your house. So if you don't take action, the bank will take the property or whoever's foreclosing on you, because it don't have to just be the bank. It can be a person that is or an entity. I don't want to say a person. It can be a person. It can be a hard money lender. Say you borrow some money from somebody to do a deal on a real estate transaction and you don't pay them back. They can foreclose on you. That's a foreclosure action. It's a legal proceeding that goes through court, or goes through a non-judicial or judicial, depending on your market. But not to get too deep down in the weeds, all of that stuff makes it complex. But I like to bring real estate back to the common level era where people that are regular can understand it. A 10-year-old should be able to understand some of this basic stuff, really all of this basic stuff. And people make real estate complex so you stay out of it. Have you ever thought about it that way? They make it difficult so you don't want to get in it. Like, oh no, I don't know how to fix houses. Because that's what I thought. I say, oh, you got to fix all these houses. I don't know about fixing houses. Oh no, you got to have a whole bunch of money in the bank. Well, when I started, I didn't have a whole bunch of money in the bank, so you can't do that. Oh, you got to have that big credit score, that 823 credit score. You got to have good credit. And most people you know don't have good credit, just being honest. Most people you know. But I can show you a way to get into real estate regardless of your capital in the bank, regardless of your credit score, regardless of all these things that people told you or you thought in your mind why you could not get into the game. This business is really one of those things that can help you change the trajectory of your life. You know, you can go beg people for jobs, and you see all those people got laid off from Spirit Airlines, right? People like, oh, they lost their job and it's sad. Hey, it's part of the game, man. It's part of life. You have to take control of your future. If you decide, hey, I want to open a business, whether it wins or whether it loses, it's your fault. You're responsible for it. Same thing if you're taking a job. You cannot put your hands into somebody else's, basically their orbit, and make it feel like, oh, it's their responsibility to take care of you. It's your responsibility to take care of you. You should take care of you better than anybody else. Now, we could leverage and use others. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you think somebody gonna save you, I'm here to tell you, they ain't coming to save you. So all those people that's laid off from the Spirit Airlines and stuff like that, they're gone. They got to go find another way to make it. Find another job, work another airline, or get into real estate or get into stock trading. They got to do something. Everybody got to do something. And that something is called add value to the marketplace, because you're not paid by the hour. You're paid by the value you bring to that hour. Now, are you valuable? Think about it that way. Are you valuable? Do you really help people? Do you really solve problems? If you really do that, you should be compensated. Because some people look at this like, oh, that's not fair. You doing these real estate deals and you taking advantage of somebody. No, I'm not. I'm not taking advantage of anybody. This is a mutually beneficial opportunity for everybody that's in the deal. So when people see that you made some money in the deal, they make it feel like you should be ashamed. You shouldn't be making money off people. You going off people thing, like this pre-foreclosure that I went to. Big Justin, what up? People, going to these pre-foreclosures, people try to make it seem. I say you should be messing with these people to help them solve their problem. Why let a perfectly good house go back to the bank? Why? That doesn't even make sense to me. And I've seen beautiful homes. I'm talking about nice homes. Like, wow, that's like 3-car garage and all that stuff. Y'all don't let that go back to the bank? You messing around with me? So that's what I look at when I see this stuff. I don't really feel guilty at all. You ever feel guilty, Justin, when you like doing deals and making money?
Nah, ain't nothing to guilty feel. It ain't nothing to feel guilty about. We helping people.
You're supposed to feel sad and like, you taking advantage of people though. You getting money off of people's hardships.
Nah, we take care of people. People need help moving out. People need, help. They don't know what to do.
So basically, it sounds like it's the perspective of the person. Everybody got their own perspective, and they looking at it a certain way, like, oh, that's bad. But like, no, we're making that bad thing into a good thing for that particular person and us.
Funeral homes take care of people.
Yeah, somebody die every day, right?
Somebody got to handle the body.
Yeah. This was a house I pulled up when I was over in the area. I said, wait a minute, let me go knock on this door. So I knocked on this door here. Nobody's there. And I was thinking that for some reason they would be there, because on the weekends, people are usually home or In the evenings, people are usually home when I kind of try to find them. But this particular person, he's got an auction coming up in about 3 weeks, and he's not there. The house looks pretty torn down. There's a vehicle in the driveway that looks like it's been there for probably, I don't know, a year or more. Or the neighbor said it's been there for quite a while, because I always talk to the neighbors when I go knock on these doors. I try to ask them, hey, have you seen Jim? Have you seen Bob? Have you seen Kevin? Whoever they are. And they'll tell you, oh, yeah, he was here this morning cutting the grass or whatever. The neighbors know everything. Would you agree with that, Justin?
Somewhat.
The neighbors don't know nothing when you ask them, or do you even ask the neighbors?
I talk to the neighbors and stuff. Sometimes they have some information, sometimes they don't.
Okay. Well, I just ask them, have they seen the guy? I just want to make sure they even coming around. Because the guy that I talked to at this particular house next door, he was like, yeah, I haven't seen them, but somebody cut the grass, so somebody got to be here. So I said, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That was his logic, even though he hasn't seen the person. And I don't even know if that person was really a neighbor. I think he was the son of the neighbor or something. I don't know. Because it looked like some elderly people lived there, but he was there. But nevertheless, I was able to ask him, and this one has a order to vacate sticker on the wall. So the city or the county, some government entity told him he got to get up out of there. So maybe that's what he did. Got up out of there. You see any with these kind of stickers on them, Justin?
Yeah, I see a lot of houses with those kind of stickers on them.
And what does that lead you to believe?
That they in a distressed situation.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, how much more stress you want? The people kicking you out. Like, but what makes somebody get an order to vacate? Why would they kick somebody out of a house like that?
Water bill got too high.
The water bill? No, you can't kick them out for no water bill.
That is uninhabitable. You got to have water on in the property to live in it.
So they gonna stick that on your door for not paying your water bill.
If your water gets cut off, you can no longer stay in the house no more.
Is that in the city or the county?
Both.
Wow.
You can't have a house where there ain't no water. That's uninhabitable.
That's true. But I'm just trying to figure, why would they put that sticker on the door though? I mean, could that be possible? Possibly.
The city, the municipalities would be like, no, you can't stay there. They don't want to put the sticker. If you got, you know what I'm saying, water off. I don't think they care about gas for real, but I think if you got a water off, you don't have the occupancy permit. That's pretty much all I've seen.
Now that raggedy house I had out in Fenton under contract, that dude had an order to vacate because the house, they said it was a fire hazard, because the police got called to that man's house. And when they ran up in the house, they was tripping and somebody hurt themselves, one of the officers, because he got so much junk and debris and he's a hoarder. So they got it put on his house for that particular reason. So
I'm saying stuff like that where the trash, they got too much trash and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But this house didn't seem too dirty. I mean, it's dirty, but it didn't look like, trash like that, other than this raggedy vehicle in the driveway. Back in my day in Beverly Hills, they'll tow your car for sitting like that. If it's a car sitting like that, they will come in your driveway and pull that bad boy.
Dang.
Yeah, they was gangsters back in the day. You be thinking, I'm going to get my tags next month when I get my check. You look outside, where my car at? They done towed it.
That sounds like that's against property rights.
Well, like I say, Beverly Hills, Missouri, back in the 90s, and the 99s and the 2000s, they was pulling your car out your driveway. They did a lot of stuff that was questionable. Just
they ain't care about lawsuits back then.
They don't care about your rules, man. You know how these people do. You could try to sue, but they gonna make it do what it do. Most people don't want to sue because they cost money.
Unconstitutional.
That part. But these little municipalities, what's it like, 90 plus municipalities in St. Louis County, they all got their own rules, their own police department, their own fire department. They do what they want to do. So, and I think this is I don't know if this is St. Anne or I don't know what this might be unincorporated. I don't even know what this is considered.
St. Anne got the situation where if you drive through St. Anne and you have a Lyft or Uber light in your windshield, they will pull you over and write you a ticket.
Why?
Because that's the rules they made up.
They say don't pull over here with those Lyft or Uber signs.
and it was guys literally fighting tooth and nail. Like it's just, oh, why you just don't pay the fine? They like, no, it's the principle. We need to really challenge, because how can I be driving good everywhere else, and then I get here in this area, this small 7 minutes of highway, and I can get ticketed for having this particular thing in my windshield.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's what the guy was arguing. I've never personally experienced that, but that's what the guy was doing.
Yeah, when you're talking about these little municipalities, they do what they want. I mean, for real, they literally do what they want. They sit up and tell you can't rent your property. How's somebody gonna tell you can't rent your house and put an ordinance on it? They did that in Delwood. They used to have that over in Berkeley, and a couple other areas where they like tell you can't rent your house. Like, what kind of stuff is this? Is my house. I pay taxes. I pay insurance. I pay all this stuff. But some government gonna come in and encroach on my civil liberties, but nobody never challenged these people.
Ludicrous.
That's crazy. Just like the city try to tell you cannot do Airbnb or short-term rental, telling people that you can only do so many people per building, even if it's a 4-family, you can only do so many people per building, and all these just extra rules. But somebody stopped that thing. They said, we're gonna go to court for this. So it's been held up in court here for almost a year now. They try to stop Airbnbs in St. Louis City altogether. Did you see that when that happened?
Yeah, but I remember reading the paperwork. You had sent me the paperwork and stuff. And that was around the time when I was really getting into this thing. I'm like, man, think about how valuable that is for that person to, pay for the legal fees up front. So how many, properties does he have to make that financially make sense to go against the city, to fight against the city? And he's not doing it only on behalf of himself. He's doing it on behalf of the entire city of St. Louis. So, or the Airbnb community and stuff. That's some powerful stuff right there. And that lets you know there's a lot going on with real estate. And I always get these calls from like Ray all the time, and Ray like, yeah, these laws about to get to starting. I'm like, man, you better eat. I'm like, I don't see us having any type of issues, to be honest with you. It's kind of like boxing. They try to consolidate boxing and all that, but there's nothing stopping one person from finding a kid out in a small city and putting him under contract and being his promoter and taking him to a boxing company. Like, you can't stop that. It's like impossible to try to monopolize that, because they dealing with contracts and contract law and all those things. That's how I think about real estate.
That's all it is. It's a legal loophole to everything when you understand it. Now, that boxing scenario you just gave, the only way that I would think right out the gate that's going to mess them up is if that person's under 21. They can say they're a minor. They can't sign a legally binding contract. So that's one way they can kind of skate around that one. But once you hit 21, they can't stop adults from doing something.
Put the parents on the contract.
What you said. There's always a way. I'll put your whole family under contract. Lock them up.
They'll be calling me, yeah, you see that law that say wholesale illegal? I'm like, well, we'll sell LLC. We'll sell trust.
What you said. And just like they said in because I remember they changed it in Illinois, where they said you can only wholesale one deal per 12-month period without a real estate license. And that was all signed by the governor. So I'm like, why would they do that? Why would they create something? This happened like 2019 or something like that. Like, why would y'all
stop the market from doing what it does?
Well, it's because the NRA, or not the NRA, the National Association of Realtors, I was thinking guns, but the National Association, the NAR, National Association of Realtors, was basically hating on the wholesalers. They're like, nah, man, you made 20K. We want some of that cut. You wholesalers is cutting our agents out, and they want to make sure you go get a license. So it's part of the game. We have to figure it out. Pro Dumpster, what up? So yeah, this it's like you say, it's kind of like you have to just look at everything and say, hey, everybody tell you can't do this. Let's find a way we can do this. I'm not trying to break anybody's rules, but I will skate around each and every one of them that's an obstacle to tell you can't do it. And it's just, it's like being told no just motivates me. Like, what, you can't do that? What you mean I can't do that? What if I found a way to do it? And we found out a way. And we solve problems with people. So yeah, any particular deals you working on this week? Anything hot in the kitchen cooking up, Jay?
Yeah, so I'm starting to deal with so boom, I've got really good at, getting property, dispoing property. Now I'm picking up more than a few doors. Now the new problem is, the management of, the tenants. Obviously I'm setting them up, as tenant buyers and everything, but I'm finding myself to where now they are, paying late on rent, different stuff like that. Obviously, that becomes a problem for me because as I'm trying to grow, stabilize cash flow and stuff, I'm on the hook for a lot of those mortgages and stuff that need to be paid by the first or before the fifth. So just kind of getting into that part now where it's like, okay, getting a lot of cash up front, get people in the houses and stuff, and then getting stuck at the part where now as I go out and try to acquire more deals, making sure that I have a balance of, keeping, money in reserves for when people are not able to make their monthly payment.
Yeah, and this is exactly why we have to get what we call some skin in the game up front. This is exactly why I teach and preach: do not put somebody in a house for a small amount of money, because they're people. They're going to do what they want to do. We don't know their credit habits or if they're going to do anything good or bad. And now, one of the things is to make sure they understand that, hey, it's due on the 28th, late on the 1st. And on the 6th, we will probably be turning you over to the people. I'm not even going to chase you down. I'm not going to beg you. And, that's why we always put that little blurb in our paperwork, too, about they're responsible for the legal fees as well, because that stuff can add up. If you get an attorney to working on it, get somebody out of a house can cost money. You can be, a couple $1,000s deep messing with that. So this is why we try to do things to prevent that from the beginning. Now, you say you got people already being late.
Late.
And what is yours set up the same way, doing a 28 late on the 1st or something different?
Yep.
And so are you charging them a late fee?
So, early woes, right? Didn't made the mistake of not including the compounding late fees in the lease agreements.
What do you mean compounding? Like going up a lot, or?
Yeah, where like, it's like there's a fee on there, but there's not like, like 5% or something like that, or I feel like I could have got a little bit more intentional with the fee. So what I did was, one of the ladies, she's late for the second or third time, so I told her, hey, we're gonna go ahead and sign an addendum to increase these late fees and stuff, and she said she agreed to it.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. You solve that quick. Well, it's not even just about the fees, though. I mean, do you think the fees are going to make a person pay on time?
Nah, well, so I mean, obviously, people are people. One of the ladies been working on the house, dropping a bunch of money into the house. So now it's come time to where she has to pay. I mean, she's moving into the property now.
Mm-hmm. And so this is why I put like this kind of verbiage on my addendum. Let me see if I can share this. I let them know, hey, even though it says the same thing in the lease, but I even make it in plain English here. In the event that the tenant is late with the payment past 6 days, tenant agrees to pay late fees as well as any legal fees associated with eviction filings or other legal proceedings, costs incurred by the landlord. These must be paid in full account to bring the account current. So I want to do that. And two, I want to enforce that on the 6th of the month or the 5th of the month. I'm turning them over. I'm not going to argue with people. Now, if somebody communicating with you and they're like, yeah, we're going to work it out, and they paying you, and they, we put them on a payment plan, that's one thing. But if they like playing games, ignoring you, I got to look for you every month, I'm not going to chase nobody, man. I'm sending you to the people. I'm sending you straight to the attorney, and they're going to file the eviction, and they're going to go through that, and you got to deal with them. And I'm not going to communicate with you no more. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm not chasing these people, even though, it's hard. And it is a thing that can happen, but they can go through a whole problem. I would prefer not to go through that, but I make sure they understand it. Also, we know that they're taking it in as-is condition. They're 100% responsible for the maintenance and repairs, and will be fully responsible for any local inspections, codes, ordinances, occupancy permits while in possession. So don't call me talking about, hey, Chris, can you help me get this thing? Hey, man, this is your house just like you would have bought it from anybody else. It's your baby if you're going to get in on this particular program. Now, household appliances, we make sure that's addressed. It's not yours unless you buy the house. You buy the house, you can have it. You can't just go start selling my stuff or getting rid of my stuff and taking it in as yours. It's not yours. And then I also make sure they're responsible for utilities, all utilities, sewer, water, trash, electricity, internet. In the event these utilities are not paid, the landlord/seller may pay these bills and be reimbursed by the tenant buyer. And I tell them the first date of being paid. So I put that as an addition to all this other stuff that they have signed off on the paperwork. Do you do something similar to that? Uh-oh, can't hear you.
Yeah, I need to.
Yeah, you have to put all this in. And really, I try to make sure they understand it too. Not that I'm trying to slide and slick by them, but that's why I break it down in plain English on this separate, even though it says it's in my other paperwork. But this is an additional document just to make sure they understand the things that I want to make sure they understand, like bullet points. And
what I'm going through now is I explain, in detail, answered every question with this one particular tenant buyer. And, now since she's in the property, she has the mindset of a renter. So I'm thinking like they're going ahead and just push her out of the property and stuff because she's asking me to fix a whole bunch of stuff that, she's on the hook for, you know what I mean? And it wasn't that it's not that much stuff, but she has this thing like, oh, you should have got this done and I need this done, this, that. And I'm like, this might not be the best program for you. So how about we just, give you $500 to move out?
And that's what it takes. I mean, because, and that's why we have to set the expectation up front. Even if I think a house is perfect, I'm never going to say the house is move-in ready. I'm never going to use those type of words. It's as is. As you see right here, it even says it in this addendum. Tenant, buyer, accept the property in as is condition. I always say, check it out. Bring your cousin, bring your uncle, bring your auntie, whoever. Make sure you can handle this house because whatever it is, we don't fix houses. We don't have any way to help you. Now, I might can refer you to somebody to help you, get you some quotes or something, but we do not fix houses at all. Just want to be very clear about that up front. And if we're not clear about that, that's where the problem is going to come in at. This is a deal that closed on Friday. That was your favorite house over there, Justin, your blue house. So yeah, this these people are going to do what people do. Very, very important to make sure they understand. Let's see. Doesn't it take people a long time to get evicted? It could. I mean, what's the definition of a long time? A few weeks, a month. I'd rather get them up out of there and eat that month than play 6 months with people because people can play games depending on your market, depending on where you are. If you're in one of those blue states where they call tenant-friendly states, if you're in New York, maybe New Jersey, I'm not sure. California. What do you say, Justin?
Illinois.
I don't do deals in Illinois for this reason. I don't want to have to play with them games with them people over there. Just me personally. Not saying it can't be done. Anything can be done, but do I want to go in there? No. I don't want to swim with the fishes. So is she saying she's going to move out now, or you don't know yet?
So basically, she owed me like $100 more on her rent. And, I'm like, hey, this might not be the best situation for you. Let's put you in a different situation. And she's like, oh, paying the rent, not a problem. I'm going to pay you tomorrow and stuff. But I'm like, well, you steady coming with me with all these different things you're trying to say that I'm responsible for. So let's just go ahead and get you out of there. So I told her, just like, oh, a whole bunch of shit.
I just asked her, can you handle this house?
Right.
I mean, straight up, is this something you can handle? Because if you can't handle, I definitely I don't want to have you in a bad position because we don't, like I just said, we don't fix houses. We don't do maintenance, repairs, things like that on properties.
Right.
Once we put a tenant buyer in them, it's your baby. Like I said, I'll do everything I can to assist you or point you in the right direction, but trying to be like, oh, come fix this, come fix that. No, sir. That's why we do rent to own. I don't do any of that crap.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to think. I think I did have one person try that with me back in the day. I don't remember who it was. I don't even remember. It's been a while because, like I said, I try to make sure they understand this stuff up front. Very clear. Once you take possession of this property, it is yours. Do not call me for nothing but payments. That's it. Treat me like Bank of America. If you get a leaky faucet, do you call me or do you call a plumber? Call a plumber. What up? What up, Shanita? Good to see you. How you doing? So yeah, this real estate game is what you make it, and that's why I say getting in the wrong markets can make it a real problem. And so you think this is going to work out with the lady?
I would prefer to just get her out because she's literally been a tenant from hell.
Really?
Yeah.
Why you say that? The tenant from hell.
Because her mindset is just wrong. That's the only thing that makes it a problem is that, she claiming that, somebody misrepresented and everything. And I'm like, that's not true.
Do you feel like anything could have been done differently on the front end?
No, because I did take the time to really explain to her this is as is, rent to own. Even before we left the house from, her seeing the house, she said, yeah, I do like this house, but maybe when my lease coming to an end, I might want to look at one of your other houses. Is that cool? I get one of your other houses. So to me, that represented that she understood the program and walking it down. She was talking about getting a mortgage and stuff. And, she got into the house and she immediately thought differently or whatever.
Did she read the paperwork?
I went through the paperwork even at the closing, line for line, and initial here, sign here, as is condition, the whole shebang. Hey, you got any questions for the attorney? She's still trying to, say that, I was responsible for a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, there's really nothing wrong with the house. She just really like the hot water, like I think a breaker, how on a in the house the breaker will blow or whatever. So the breaker blew on the hot water tank, and she was like, the hot water don't work in the house. And I was like, I was just at the house and all hot water. I'm like, you ran the hot water and it was working. So why I made the mistake, as a gesture, I'll send the plumber over there to take a look at it. He flipped the breaker, hot water came back on, warmed up, boom, she in the game, right? And ever since then, that has started hey, this needs to be fixed. She got the water replaced and the toilet is leaking or whatever. And she like, oh, you need to come over and fix this toilet. I'm gonna hold my last $100 on my rent. I'm like, okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let you go ahead and hold your rent, and I'm just gonna evict you up out of there. And I will literally push for eviction on $100.
Just for the principal.
Just for the principal, yeah, 100%. But if she was workable, we probably could work out something or whatever. But she's she's been very difficult, very frantic, sending me back-to-back messages and all this stuff. So, I was like, yeah, you probably not a really good candidate for, rent to own.
So, in the future, will you change anything when screening or talking to potential tenant buyers?
Maybe I can communicate with a little bit more emphasis on the individuals, but low key, she didn't put down as much money as I've had other people put down. So I thought it was maybe just the market or whatever the case may be, but I think I wouldn't have this problem if a person was putting down $8+ $1,000 because I haven't seen that problem with those kind of people.
Well, I mean, it can be the market too, because think if it's in a lower end market, who want to live in it? Somebody is low end marketed minded, to be honest. When I get into these, like Maryland Heights and Florissant and some of these areas out here, I don't really have no problems out of these people for real. Generally, as far as tenant buyers are concerned, now I do have a furnished rental lady that's kind of needy, but she's in a wheelchair, so I try to help her out as much as I can, but ain't nothing I can do about that. Yeah, I told you about that lady, right? That is in my house. They did a 3-month lease payment up front to stay in my houses.
You ain't telling me about that one.
Yeah, so I had a house out as a furnished rental, and the attorney reached out to me. He was like, "Hey, I got a lady that needs a house. She's got an insurance claim coming up here, later on this year, but she needs a place to stay. Her credit isn't the best right now. We're willing to pay 3 months in advance. So I got him in there. He sent me 13,000 and some paid for 3 months in advance for that house. And so they in there now, but it's a furnished rental. And she's in a wheelchair, so a paraplegic, so she can't walk or anything. And this house is already set up for that. It's got a ramp on it and all of this stuff. So it's already pre-set up for something like that. And I knew that when I got the house. I'm like, I'm leaving that there. I'm not changing that ramp out. We need that ramp. This is handicap accessible. So she's been living in that house. And she had called, this was like a couple of weeks ago. She was like, Chris, or she texted me saying that, hey, the heat ain't working when they got that little cold blast that came through. Because, we get every type of weather in St. Louis. She called and say, or text me and say, Chris, the heat ain't coming on. It's blowing cold air. Can you send somebody? I'm like, oh, damn. Let me go see what she's talking about. So I goes over there, and guess what it was?
What?
She got the damn thing on auto, she got it on, not auto. She had it on just on, so it just blowing. Auto. And she down in this wheelchair, so she can't see up that high that the switch was off. I said, yeah, is it on or what's it doing? So I went over there. And so she was happy after that. But it's like little needy stuff like that. But they paying $37.50 a month. So I mean, for that kind of money, I think we might fix a little something for them.
Right.
So I mean, but that's why I like those furnished rentals. The money is so much better. Even if somebody did have to go fix something, it came out of their money, not out of my money. We you stand there, pay the bill.
Mm-hmm.
So she's happy now. And and then she called the day before yesterday. Said, oh, my bed, because the bed was up on these little, those little blocks people put beds on to make them taller. Mm-hmm. I guess she was scooting to get on it and knocked it off, and so it was off on one side. So I got that fixed. I went over there and took all those blocks out, so the bed is lower now, which it never should have been on there anyway, because that was from the last people that were living there. And so it's just little stuff like that. But she need help. But I'm thinking, why don't she have her family or somebody come help her out? I'm not the person to call for every little nook and cranny. Can you help me move this box? Can you do that? I don't work like that. You don't know. I work very little. I work just enough to say I worked. What they call that, a lazy entrepreneur. So yeah, that's kind of what was going on with that particular lady. But she's in there now. She's happy, and she's staying. And it didn't matter anyway. Like I said, they paid 3 months in advance. Her attorney wired me the money over and got everything set up for her. So she got 1 more month. She got June. And then if they want to stay any longer, she can. Now, when I was over there this weekend, I asked her, did you want to buy this house? Because I think she's going to get like over $1 million. No, I don't want to say $1 million. She's going to get a big check. I don't know how big, but I'm pretty sure if somebody put her in a wheelchair like that, she about to get paid. I don't know if it was a car accident or what happened, but I'm thinking, hey, you want to buy this house? She's like, oh, wow, I didn't think of that. How much? I said, you know what? I'm not sure. I'm going to give her a number right there. Probably like 300,000. But yeah, give me 320. You can have this bad boy. And
when someone is paying cash for a property, there's no safeguard for them they can buy a house for whatever number, can they?
When they got the cash, just like buying anything else. Yeah, cash is king.
Wow. So you can have a person pay $100,000 over market.
Depending on if that person's willing to pay that, what is market? Price is made up. I talk about it all the time. All this stuff's made up. That rental rate of $37.50 a month is made up, which I feel like it can really be higher in that area because I got my listing still active on a Furnish Finder, and I get messages every day trying to get that house. I'm like, dang, that house renting. They want that house that bad. Maybe my rent is too low. It need to be $4,500 a month. And that's the crazy part, coming back to what I started with. What price is too much? What is the marketplace willing to pay? I don't know. When it comes to this furnished rental game, they pay more. So if somebody willing to drop that kind of money, I'm willing to put them in there. But you got to be in a place people want to be in. Good school districts, good areas, low crime, that kind of stuff. The sky ain't even a limit.
Wow.
When you're in the bottom of the barrels, you're dealing with the bottom of the barrels. And I try to stay out of that if I can. I really do. Not saying I wouldn't do one, but boy, I really don't. I prefer not to.
I have let me talk about this situation. I got a tenant buyer who's looking to buy a property that I have. He wanted to deliver vacant before he signed off on anything. and stuff. He's trying to bring 16,000 to the table. I originally told him that the purchase price of the property was 160. I think he sent me a counter offer on it where he was like, I believe it's closer to, I want to say 140 and stuff. I believe the market actually has it at like 130 ARV. I'm buying it. I have it under contract for 100,000. That's going to be a $35,000 lien put on the property for the seller, and then the 64,000 that's owed on the mortgage. So 100 grand. I just pay closing costs. He want to pay for it as a contract for deed. He says he has 16 grand to put down, and he said he needs to be at like 1,200, 1,250 a month. I believe the note on the property is like $700 a month, PITI. I did want to be at like 1,400 for the property. It does need some work. There's a tenant inside the property that's about 3 weeks from moving out, and I'll probably take possession of the property before the tenant moves out. And I kind of was getting a little. He's trying to buy for me as a contract for deed. Low key, I was like, maybe I could just put a tenant buyer in it and stuff. But I can't. I don't want to be emotional with the deal. I would rather go ahead, probably just take the cash. A tenant buyer who's going to actually, purchase the property probably wouldn't be a bad thing. He's using my finances in order to get in the deal instead of him going to get some type of hard money or something like that. And said he plans on being out of the deal within the next 6 to 8 months.
So why not do a lease purchase?
Why not do a traditional lease purchase?
Yeah, why can't you do a lease with an option to buy?
Well, I will say when I talk to him, he's not like high level, but he sounds like he's done a flip or two.
Because what is he even doing knowing about a contract for deed? If somebody even say words like that to me, what you doing even knowing about that? Because, if you do a contract for deed, you actually sold the property.
Okay.
It's sold. So, I'd rather lease, especially if they're going to be cashing it out in 6 to 8 months. Is that what he told you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we do have a program for that. It works perfect for what you're looking for. Matter of fact, we'll give you up to a year. You don't even need 6 to 8 months. Make it look like you're giving him something more than what he's asking for. And you are giving him more.
And that's what I did. I was like, I can't do 12 months because it just put me at too much risk of trying to follow him around if he's not able to get the financing within the next 6 to 8 months.
What you mean? I'm maybe I missed a piece. How long is the financing that you have on the property?
The loan date, which is like another 17 years.
Yeah, okay, that's the first. And then what? That $35,000. What, you got to pay that back sooner or something?
Nope, I put the same date. You had told me last week to put the same date on the length of that mortgage. I mean, of that lien.
So what's wrong with just letting the guy get it for a year? I mean, why not?
Yeah, he wanted to sign something that say 6 months. I told him I wouldn't feel comfortable going under paperwork with anything less than a year. Why? So that I don't have to re-chase him back down within the 6 months.
But why do you say you have to chase him down?
If he's not able to secure financing or have the home fixed within the short amount of time that he's requesting.
And what happens if he doesn't get it within 6 months like he promised or he said he could do?
I guess he'll forfeit the consideration, and I have to find another tenant buyer to drop that bridge.
But why would you have to do that? Why can't we do another deal? We call it the deal after the deal.
We could do another deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, it's not going to hurt you in any way. Only person, the pressure's on him. There's no pressure on you.
Right.
There's no, if he takes 6 months, if he take 9 months, if he take 12 months, it doesn't hurt you either way, as long as he pay every month.
It hurts me if he's not able to get the 6 months, and then if I don't have no one inside their property, I'm going to have holding costs.
But if he give you $16,000 down up front, where's your holding cost at?
I see what you're saying.
That's why we get money up front. It solves all of that what ifs. That removes the fear of, oh man, they might not do right, which he might not do right, but he put skin in the game. But if he was talking about, oh, I'm gonna give you $1,000, then yeah, I'd be scared too. I'd be like, hell no, $1,000 ain't no skin in the game. He might go in there and tear this house up, call himself fixing it, and do shoddy work.
Right.
But if somebody give me, $16,000, $20,000 down, where are you gonna lose it? At what point do you take a loss?
Right.
I don't see anywhere you're gonna lose it on something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, do you understand, or are you missing
Yeah,
something?
No, I understand exactly what you're saying.
If he say he can do 6 months, that's great. I mean, if he wants 6 months, that's fine. And that's why even with the tenant buyers, I asked him, how long do you need? How long do you need? Oh, if I had 18 months, I'd be good. And I'm looking like, I would have gave him 2 years or 3 years. You told me you needed 18 months. I gave you what you asked for.
Right.
Especially if you think you're really going to go get a loan and buy the house and do all of that, not because even if we do have to extend it, let's just say you did do the deal for 6 months, right? And for some reason he didn't get it done. We could charge a fee to extend it another 6 months, just like hard money do.
Yeah.
Like your dude was doing in that house over there paying Sean. Pay that fee every 6 months. Say, I can stay another 6 months. Here's $2,000 or whatever you be paying him.
That guy got the nerve to tell me that his house ain't for sale. You ain't doing no deal because you ain't got enough money.
It ain't. It was never for sale. He never wanted to sell it, or he thought he had to at one point, but for some reason he felt like he don't. This is it's people. It's always emotions, and they're going to think what they're going to think. They're going to do what they're going to do. But your job is to make sure you just set yourself up in the best position. And whatever they're going to do, they're going to do it. I can't control the future. I can't control if any of these people pay. I got, I think, 2 or 3 people who haven't paid yet too, but they pay. They'll probably pay tomorrow. I don't know. I don't chase them down. They just got a late fee. They pay the late fees. That's extra money. Extra $200, whatever it is, $180, whatever the fee is on their house. They pay it all the time. And they know, oh, I know I'm late. No biggie. Sorry about that. I put the extra in there too. Thanks. It ain't hurt my feelings. Long as they pay though. Now if they ain't paying, that's when we got a problem. If they pay, they can stay. But if you don't, you gotta go. So I don't see anything wrong with that dude doing 16,000 down and a shorter time frame. That's better for you.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you have to do it that short, because people flip properties in a couple of weeks if they really talking about flipping it. But I wouldn't do that on a contract for deed. I mean, unless you had to, unless it was like adamant against that, I would rather do the lease option. Is that even possible with that guy? Or you think he's gonna have to do the way he wants to do it?
I think that he is. I think he can. I think he can get up out of there in the time frame.
Well, there you go. So wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I stand to make $50,000 out of the transaction.
Yeah, and that's in the future, and that's what you want to do. Set yourself up for future money. That's why it's Future Cash Flow Club. We're getting cash flow for the future every month, and we're getting checks later on when somebody else buys out. It happens. Just like that house I was just showing you the paperwork on. That's the second tenant buyer I've had in that house. One stayed in there for 3 years. She moved out. Now I got a new tenant buyer. He just dropped his money to get in there Friday, and now he's got the house, but he got a shorter term. He got 18 months. She had 3 years when she was in there, but this particular guy has about 18 months. So he's going to fix it up, refinance it, do what he wants to do with it. And if he don't, he don't. If he do, he do. I don't try to worry about it. You can't worry about it. Matter of fact, once you start worrying about these things, you're going to run into more problems. They say you can attract problems. And I don't do that.
Am I frozen?
You are froze. Hold on, let me see. Frozen. There you go. Let's see here. Are you back now? Let's see. Nope.
I'm gonna reset.
Reset. So we're gonna do bring it back. Welcome to the Future Cash Flow Club. If you are new here and you haven't joined yet, what are you waiting for? Are you asleep? Join the elite training so you can get the paperwork to make the paperwork, and you can actually get in the game of real estate, regardless of your credit score, regardless of how much money in your bank account, regardless of all the things they told you needed. The real estate license, unneeded. It's definitely not required. You just need a certain level of skills to pay the bills, to understand one, generating leads. Where do we find leads? Whether it's pre-foreclosures, whether it's vacant land, vacant houses, whether it's disgruntled landlords, all these people that are on the MLS, multiple listing service. In fact, I forgot about this lady. I got a lady that is motivated to sell. I don't have a recording though. I came in on that other system, so I don't have a phone call. I'm going to play the phone call for you so you can hear how motivated this lead came in. They said, I want out. I want out of this house. And so that's what we're going to do. Help her get out of this house. She's coming in from out of town. She'll be here tomorrow, coming into St. Louis. She's just coming here just to deal with this house. I didn't tell her to come here. She said she's coming here to sell her house. I said, great, I'll buy it. Now, there's some moving parts to this particular deal, which I don't really like, but it's part of the game. You know, we are playing the hand we're dealt, not the hand we wish to have. So this particular lead has a vacant property. It appears to be vacant. I think it is. And she wants to sell it. Now, when she told me the address, I pulled it up on Google, and I found out that the property is on the market. It's been on the market for about 60 days. And I asked her, I said, hey, your house is listed on the market. What's going on with that? She said, oh, my dad listed it, I believe. I'm like, oh, snap. So now I'm talking to her. She's telling me her situation on how she's behind on payments. It's not an auction date coming up, but she knows that it's getting late and they are probably going to foreclose on her property. She doesn't like the sound of that. And so nobody likes the sound of that. The bank taking your house for non-payment. And so she's telling me that, yeah, I need to get out of this house. I hate it. I don't want it. I'm not even in St. Louis. I'm coming from Texas and I'm going to sell that house and I need it gone. I said, I'll buy it. So she's saying that one, her dad is helping her and he knows about real estate. So that sounds like another obstacle to deal with. Then two, dad has listed the property on the market. That's another obstacle to deal with. Dealing with a real estate agent that's been on the market for almost 60 days. I think it said 57 days or something like that. And so what you just said right there, my man, cash terms last. Now, I did not make her an offer. Why did I not make her an offer? Because I know she's coming to town anyway. Ain't no reason to. She's motivated. I didn't want to spoil her thing. I just wanted to soothe her emotions, make her feel good, say, hey, we have solutions for all the problems you have. You just have to decide what to do with that real estate agent. So she got a property on the market, 60 days, listed with an agent, which she didn't put on the market, but her dad listed the property on the market, supposedly. When she gets in town tomorrow, we're going to get into the weeds of that and see what's going on. But she definitely wants out of the house. The house is vacant. I asked her about the condition. She said the house is in great condition and she wants to sell it. And I said, let's do it. Sign me up. Where's the ink pen? But I did not tell her how I'm going to buy it. And I already know how I'm going to buy it. And what you say here, cash terms last. Cash will not work on this deal. This house is in Dalewood. And I think she owes about 130, something like that. And those houses over there only go for about 130. And it's on the market right now for 150. Matter of fact, I think it was up for 160 and they reduced it to 150. So I don't know why they put that bigger price on there. And it's on the market right now.
That's
but I'm going to have her.
You do a contract for deed for that, don't you?
You say what?
You got to do a contract for deed in Dalewood, right?
Depending. No, I would buy the house. But I would exit maybe on a contract for deed, depending on the situation.
Because of the area.
On. But it's still like that's another problem. So I got multiple problems. I already see that's coming up. One, she ain't in town, which is not a problem with that. Two, her dad that knows real estate, he might get in and run some interference. I don't know that yet. Three, she got a real estate agent, might run some interference. I don't know that yet, but she need to get rid of the agent and move daddy out the way and sign these papers because I can help her. And the house is move-in ready. I think it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up. So, yeah, this lady came in motivated, hot. I said, dang, you come in that hot? Let's go. Sign me up, man. So we're going to see how motivated she is. Now, she did say something on the phone call that I did not respond to. She said, I want that loan out of my name. I just want this house gone. She don't know that loan ain't coming out of her name. Her payment only like $700 a month, too. And I can make some big money on that house, but we're going to deal with all that later. Like I say, I already see there's multiple issues that I'm going to have to deal with, but I didn't want to overplay my hand. I wanted to understand her before I plan her, like I always say. Let's see here. This is on, yeah, this is definitely in Dalewood, and this house is on the market. Let me see if I can get some pictures. It's a 4-bedroom, 1.5 bath. Let's see. Can I share this? I guess I can. Ain't nobody gonna steal my deal, is it? They gonna steal the deal, Justin. You know how they do.
They can't do what we do.
Can't even do it if they want to. You never know. So this is the house here. Cute little house. That's the kitchen. I guess that's the living room.
Most investors will feel like it ain't worth stealing.
Exactly. Because they couldn't do nothing with it. So it looked like somebody living in there. Or maybe they were just pictures from before or something. I don't know. But who got a TV set all the way down on the floor that low? And where does the couch at for in here? They put a treadmill there instead of that. So, and they playing chess and computers. So the pictures here is showing me something. And then this dark picture in the bathroom. Like, who takes these dark pictures? And this is stuff I'll be talking about. Why is something not selling? Either the price is too high, which this is definitely one of them, and the marketing sucks.
It's free real estate.
And
How did you find this deal?
They came in off the website.
Oh, okay.
Hot lead. We get leads all the time like this. So it's a nice house. It is. But we're going to see what other problems we can solve. And it's a 4-bedroom. So should be a pretty decent room.
Dang.
So I can do something with that.
Can you do Airbnb in Dalewood?
You cannot do rentals at all in Dalewood, depending on the block. So the rule, and I don't want to get too deep in that, but from what they told me, the rule is 30% of a block can have rentals. Up to 30% of said block can have rentals. Anything over that cannot be rentals. But most of the blocks in Dalewood are 50% or more. So that means you can't have no rentals, basically.
How can they monitor that?
Because they're giving you the occupancy permit.
Oh, okay.
So let me see here. Dalewood. I think I have the paperwork they sent me before. Let me see if I got it here. Maybe. Because it's been a problem. I got a house over there in Dalewood right now. Matter of fact, she late. She just paid some of her money, but she be late every month. She sent me $700. I said, where's my other money at, man? I'm going to send more. So let's see here. Can I see this document? So this is the document according to the city of Dalewood in regards to rentals. I don't know if I can make this bigger. It's an ordinance. Like, what the hell? Happened in 2022. They're going to tell you, let's see here. Section 1, the city hereby establishes a limitation on rental housing within city neighborhoods. All neighborhoods within the city zone residential dwelling shall have no more than 30% rounded up of lots on any block eligible to receive a certification or annual rental license as a rental property. So that means anything over 30% of a block cannot be a rental. And most of the blocks are over 50% right now. They're basically trying to increase home ownership and reduce renters.
Sounds illegal.
And it's an ordinance. Like, what the hell? How are you going to make an ordinance up and tell me what I can do in my house? And nobody challenged these people. And then section 2, Webster Third New International Dictionary of the English Language shall be considered providing ordinary accepted meaning of words and terms throughout this ordinance. Where terms are not explicitly defined, they shall reference this source or apply the ordinary meaning within the context of the word or the term used. What kind of legal jargon is that? They tell you what a dwelling is, a habitable room, all this junk. Section 3, talking about they want to be 30% or lower on every block.
We should just sue them and just fight them in court.
Now, they do have some exceptions. Supposedly, they hear. You can apply for a temporary rental license not exceeding 12 consecutive months under the following conditions. And he said, see, that's just craziness. He just come up with all these rules to tell us what we can and cannot do on a property we bought. I don't really like Dalewood for this reason. But we know there's a loophole to every loophole. Nobody's never challenged this stuff. Nobody never really went up against these people. So this is what they got in Dalewood if you're thinking about buying a house over there. and it's all was signed off by their mayor back in 2022. She didn't give me a copy signed, as you can tell, but she gave me basically the language, because this is what, even when I'm talking to somebody with an HOA, a homes owners association, I always say, send me the bylaws. Don't overthink it. Don't try to overprocess it. Don't go off what they say. We call that hearsay. I want to know exactly what the paperwork says so we can dissect it and neglect it. So what do you think about that, Justin? Will you buy a house over in Delwood?
Yeah.
And what you gonna do with it? You're gonna fight this?
Contract for deed.
Yep. So I mean, it's a lot of ways, and this is the time I probably would use a contract for deed on exit, meaning I would buy the house creatively, subject to seller finance, etc. But I would exit on a contract for deed, because then I have sold the house, and this does not apply to a person because it's not a rental. It's a sold property. So this is just kind of one of the ways we get around the silliness of the people in real estate. Knock them down, Jay. So that's what we got, man. These people are gonna do what they're gonna do. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. We're gonna solve problems for the marketplace by adding value and buying properties, regardless of what they tell you can't do. So that's that little 4-page document has prevented people. Actually stopped me from buying another house I had under contract in Delwood. It was a nice house too, 4-bedroom as well. I was like, man, I could do some damage, but I don't want to deal with Delwood. I wanted to make it a furnished rental and get that big money on it. Get that, $3,500, $4,000 a month, because the market rent over there is probably like $1,500 or something like that, maybe, if that much. But I don't want to play that game. So that's what we got in the real estate world. What are you going to do this week, Justin, to get some more leads?
I'm going to definitely do some more door knocking and everything. I kind of be in the weeds of dealing with my own deals so much that, it kind of be hard to get to new deals. I'm like, I probably could take down about 100 of these days, but I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get these doors filled up before I go on and take on more responsibilities.
But that's the thing. This is why you have to start developing and growing a team. Somebody else got to help you generate these leads other than you. You can't do it all yourself. And even if you got to pay a VA or pay somebody, hey, go do this work. And that's the part of entrepreneurship. We can't do it all ourselves. It's not possible. I'm thinking about hiring another VA, even though I don't really need one, but I could use one to do deep research and find these people that I haven't been able to find. Like really take time, because I don't want to take the time and the energy to dig and find these people. Even though I can, I'd rather show them how to do it and let them go dig and find these people. And so we can figure out what we can do to help them out, especially these pre-foreclosures. Matter of fact, I knocked on the door Friday or Saturday, one of them days, and that lady called me back. So my motto, I always leave the door hanger. I always leave the sticky note, and sometimes I leave a business card depending on the situation. But on this one, I left the door hanger and a sticky note, and she called back, said, hey, you called me. I did. I didn't call you. I was seeing what y'all doing about the auction. And she was so into it, telling me about, he tried to take my house, her husband or something, I don't know, and telling me the whole story. He tried to take my house, and I ain't letting him do that, and I'm glad I got him up out of there. And this house looked like it needs some work too, but she did get her auction stopped. So she said it should be falling off of there Monday. So we'll see how that goes, because our auction was set for this week. I think it was set for the 8th or something like that. So this is the stuff we do.
Let me ask you this, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think differentiate a person like, people like us and the people who coming into these groups? They coming on, maybe a couple of weeks, a couple of different things. We giving them the information. They learning it. They know how to skip trace people. They know how to find people. They know the foreclosures. They know the websites. They know all of this. What makes the difference between us, who maybe will, take more deals than even we can even handle or get to and be able to close, versus the people who might come in, maybe do one deal or pass a deal along, get paid out, and then never do any more deals?
Lazy. They want a job. They need to go get a job.
Mm.
I mean, it's really that simple. This is not, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. I think everybody should own a piece of a business, but that doesn't mean you necessarily need to work in that business. But definitely, it's not for everybody because a lot of people just, fall off.
Mm.
They fall off, and and even some people that have done deals. I've seen people do one deal and quit, 2 deals and quit, 3 deals and go get a job. I mean, which is fine. You can do that because it can be, a roller coaster ride. You have to create a system, and this is why I always teach and preach: get something to generate leads regularly, not just I'm going to go generate leads today. You have to have something that's already generating leads on a regular basis. Now that may cost you money or it may cost you time, but you got more time than money, use your time. You got more money than time, use the money. But somebody got to generate these leads.
Mm.
And that's why I say, it's kind of just a choice you got to make. Do I want to invest in my business and make my business grow? Or do I want to, do it all myself and try to figure it all out and struggle and stress out? You can do it. And there's a lot of people to do it and do it that way. But I feel like it's kind of working harder. It's a delicate balance. Some people feel like I got to go work real hard to do it. Or some people feel like I'm going to throw a whole bunch of money and let them do it. You got to balance it out. What makes the most sense for you and your lifestyle?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, especially when I, talk to a bunch of people and stuff. They in a group, they say they're ready to make it happen and stuff. I'm like, go get a list of 50 houses. And I tell people, I don't even make as many phone calls as you would think that I make in order to acquire, the amount of deals we doing. So,
Yeah.
you
It
know,
don't
it's
take much. It don't take much. I mean, I could spend 2 hours tonight and go get a deal right now. If I say I want to go spend 2 hours, I'm gonna go find somebody and go get a deal tonight. That's how silly this stuff is.
yeah, it is. It is ridiculous.
But how many 2-3 hours you want to do, depending on what that deal is. It may not be a cash deal. It may not be, what you thought. It might be a terms deal. If you want to do a terms deal, some people don't like doing this stuff, or they don't know how to do it. I got a lead I need to call back to over here in Hazelwood.
Hazel Chris.
This is on Santa Bella. I don't know. I guess this is a condo. Damn, why I gotta be a condo? Hate condos. Let me see if this lady answers her phone. So this was a lead that came in yesterday. I tried to call her, but she didn't answer. As usual. That ain't nothing new, right? Nobody likes to answer. Let's see if I can get this lady on the phone. Miss Yvette. Live seller call, y'all. Let's see here. Answer. Is that the phone? Yeah. Answer the phone. To the voicemail. If you didn't call twice, you didn't call once. Let's call her again. Well, I'm gonna give it a second. I don't like to give them back-to-back calls. I give them like a good 30 seconds. Do you call back-to-back, Justin, or you give them a few minutes?
Back to back to back.
They're gonna get mad at you. Man, why you blowing my damn phone up? I'm gonna call her back. Give it. All right, that's my 30 seconds. 30 seconds of fame. Oh my.
Thank you and have a blessed, victorious day.
Hey, Yvette, this is Chris. You had contacted us in regards to selling a property on Santa Bella. Give me a call back at 314. A little while longer tonight. Hope to hear from you soon. Again, this is Chris, and I'll talk to you later. So we'll see if they call back. They said send them a text. Did I text her already? Do these people answer the phone, Justin? Why they put in and say they want to sell, but then they don't answer their phone? Yeah, I texted her yesterday. Just following up. I sent her a text yesterday that said, you submitted a form on our website in regards to selling the property in Hazelwood. I will try to reach out again later on. Chris. And I just sent another text saying, just following up. So she might call back here in the next few minutes. Hopefully she do, because I want to get that out the way, even though I do not like condos. What is that you just sent, Justin? Uh-oh, you're muted. You're muted. What'd you say?
I say some YN stuff. Don't pull it up on his live though.
Oh, okay.
Them guys, boy, St. Louis is wilding out right now, man.
Well,
I'm like, man, I don't know why people want to be out. I stay at the house. I don't need to be out there with the people.
you're supposed to be outside. The street lights on. Go ahead outside.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm in the crib.
Go walk the block. Let them know you here. Say y'all ain't gonna be messing with people.
I'm on this real estate call. That's what I'm on.
Stay focused. So why do you think people don't stay strong in the game once they come in kind of heavy? Like, oh, I'm gonna do deals. I'm gonna do this. They all inspire me, and they just lose all their energy.
If I had to, me going through, the amount of people that we've been through, I would say 80% of people never do a deal, period. Just right off back, I just make that cut. 80% of people don't do a deal, period. 10% are only going to do one deal. And then the other 10% are going to go out and do a lot more deals.
I mean, is it possible that they can be just too comfortable with what they're doing, their regular day job or whatever, maybe? Or
no, they're uncomfortable, but I think they underestimate the amount of effort that it actually takes to get a deal through the finish line.
because some people may think it takes a lot to get a deal to the finish line. You got to deal with all these obstacles. Like I was saying with that deal that I'm working on, they got a daddy involved, an agent involved, the house vacant. It's been on the market. It's behind on payments. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's all problems. I'm not running from none of that. I'm running toward it. I'm like the fireman. I got my fire hose and I'm running in there.
My thing is, just because you got the fish on the hook and we got it under contract, don't mean I've had plenty of stuff on the contract. Don't mean that it's going to get through. Like for whatever reason, there's all kind of reasons that something might not get through the finish line. And that's why I be telling people like, hey, go get another one. Go get another. Let's get 3 fish on the hook in order for one to go through.
Yeah, I mean, if you did that, you did good.
Yeah,
to be honest, but it takes a lot sometimes, and it takes a little sometimes. Just depends. I try to work at the pace of the seller. If they want to move quick, I'm moving quick. If they want to move slow, we just go with the flow. And they're gonna do what they're gonna do. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. So that's what we got, Justin. So I'm going to let me see. Should I try this lady one more again or not?
Yeah, go ahead and give her a call one more time.
This is her last call for the night. She'd be like, maybe I'll call her from another number. Is that janky? Let's call her from the main office line.
Oh, this is 314.
Yeah, we'll get to her. I guess she ain't really got to sell that bad. I don't know.
These agents be lazy.
Why you say that?
They just are. They are lazy, to be honest with you.
People are lazy, Justin. People. Real estate is not that hard. It's people that are complex. So I just deal with them. Tell them, get out of my way, or let's go get this pay. Which one you want to do? Get out of my way or go get the pay? Because like even that house I was just telling you about, I don't know. That house been on the market for, let me see, that house over here. Oh, that's not even Dalewood. That's Ferguson. So I might be good now that I look at it again. I thought it was in Dalewood. This house, oh no, I don't know. Don't make me lie. I got a 2-car garage, 10,000 square foot lot. They got it on here for 150. It was at 160. It got reduced back in February to 150. And it looked like this lady had this house for quite a while, like some years. So she should have some equity. Should have. Let me pull it up in this other system. Because it might say what she can do. Because on here, it says she owe 130 on here. I don't know if that's accurate, but it says she don't. No, she haven't been there that long. I'm thinking about a different house. So it says she's been at this house for 2 years and 5 months. So she don't have any equity. Been at a house for 2 years, and they bought it. They bought it for 131,000 back in 2023. Looked like it was a flip. So I don't know. They got some stuff going on here, from what I could tell. It's a FHA loan. So that means whatever she's got in arrears, we can put it on the back of the loan. That's my favorite part. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to find a way to make it do what it do. And that's that. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if we got any questions on the lessons. Let's see. Comments, questions, ask now. Let's see what we got up here. If you get it under contract, what would you do with it? We would do what makes the most sense. What is your exit strategy? What do you want to do? You might want to live in a house. If I find one with a 3-car garage, I'm moving in that bad boy. Shay baby don't think we moving, but we moving in that bad boy. Because I need me a 3-car. Or a 4-car or a 5-car. I've seen some houses with like 4-car garages detached from the house. Like, dang, where y'all get all that from? Not that I need that much space, but it just, it would be nice to have that extra room. You know what I mean? Because really, out of town and like Texas and different places like that I visited, those people, they don't even have garages. They only got ADUs, accessory dwelling units. They turn them into apartments and they rent them out. Matter of fact, when we went to Texas, we rented a little place for one night before we went to a hotel, and there was an ADU. I said, damn, they'd have made an apartment out this damn garage. And it looked nice. It was clean and looked like a little house, but it was a garage basically converted. They put a little microwave, a little oven, little bed, everything. I was like, oh, look at them. This is like back in 2023. I was like, dang, every house over here don't have a garage. They all are apartments. We ever gonna get like that in St. Louis, Justin?
I don't think so. Texas is a different place in Missouri. The amount of food trucks and stuff that they got, their laws are different. It's way more open. They get into that money in Texas. They don't care about nothing. They don't pay property taxes. They plates go forever.
They pay property taxes. I think it's high.
They don't pay property taxes in Texas.
They don't pay state taxes, you mean? But property tax, like, real estate taxes, yeah.
They pay real estate taxes. Yeah, they don't pay state tax. Yep, you are correct. But you don't pay for plates and stuff out there, or you don't have to renew your plates out there.
What's a personal property tax? That's what we got here in St. Louis. People are like, what's that? Matter of fact, mine's due here. Well, it's not due. My plates go out on one of my cars at the end of this month, so I gotta go pay personal property tax so I can get it renewed. That's how they keep you on the hook to make sure you don't let that thing get packed up.
That's sick.
Pay me about $2,000 out. They love getting that money, boy. They gonna get that money. Any other questions, comments, concerns before we land this thing? I got a tax deed expert coming up here. Probably gonna be next month. We're gonna have the tax deed wolf. Gonna be coming on talking about some tax deeds and liens and how that stuff works. Get us some other opportunities because they're out here. I mean, you wouldn't believe some houses be going for literally $500, like stupid stuff. $1,000 house, $500 house. Cheap, but they are some other things you have to watch out for. But we'll get into that once we have that here coming up in the next coming weeks. And then we got some others coming up as well. So that's what we got, Justin.
That money, baby. Money, baby. Money, baby.
From food. I'm finna go get fat right quick. Because you're not supposed to eat. Don't eat after 9 o'clock. Anything you want to leave the people with? Any words of wisdom you want to leave the people, Justin?
Hey, look, if you get into this real estate thing, it take effort. It's not a crazy amount of effort. I would say knowledge supersedes the effort. You know, you having conversations with people and they tell you they aunt just passed away, ask them, you know, what they plan on doing with the house. You know, it takes, you know, having your mind fully engulfed to be able to see the opportunities, get the knowledge, learn how to do it, and the opportunities to present themselves. I've literally had opportunities presented to me, literally standing in the kitchen with my uncle, and he telling me that he was trying to buy a van because his cousin daddy had passed away. I'm like, did he own a house? Said, yeah, actually, they trying to sell that house. Boom. You know.
You already knew the right question to ask. What they doing about the house?
Exactly. So I've had plenty of people say, oh, we just letting the house go to, you know, just, I don't know what we're going to do with the house. Oh, I know what to do with the house. And even if you at the local Snooks, people like, hey, how you doing? I'm just trying to buy another house. You know anybody trying to sell another house? You have to get that ridiculous and stuff in there if you want to get, you know, some fish on the hook and stuff. And we'll help you navigate the rest of the situation, you know, no matter what it is. But, you know, people will literally give you their house. And I used to think for years when Chris used to tell me that it was exaggeration, but it's not exaggeration. People will give you their house. I got a guy right now. He's giving me, he can't wait. He's calling me, following up. Hey, Justin, what has title said? I'm like, wowzers.
They can't wait to get from under. That's called a motivated seller. And that's what we deal with. People that are motivated to move away from the pain or move towards some type of gain. And we try to help them get there. They literally are giving away houses. And so I saw this way back in the day on those infomercials that come on at night when they be like, oh, yeah, we did this in real estate. And you might have saw them on, you know, late night back in the day or something. When they used to have that stuff. What's the dude name? Carlton Sheets and all them. Like, man, that stuff ain't real. No, it's real. It's just the way they was pitching it, the way they made it look. It looked kind of sleazy, but all of that stuff is real. All of it. You can do it. And this stuff, and like I said, this ain't nothing I just came up with. This stuff been going on at least since the 80s, if not before, probably before. All of this creative buying houses, taking over payments, all of this stuff has been going on behind closed doors while you're out here fighting to get your credit score up, fighting to save a bunch of money to get more than 3.5% down on the FHA loan, begging people to show you houses. We don't go through that stuff. We are going to go solve problems for the marketplace, whether it's on market, off market, or wherever it is. We help people with real estate. So I want to thank everybody for jumping in tonight that's been watching, because there's people just watching, Justin. They said, I don't want to be on camera. They want to watching, and I want to watch you go do your next deal. Get a fish on the hook, give me a call, and we'll get that thing to the finish line, and we'll make some money, man. It's out here. It's out here for those who see it. Now, if you can't see it, you won't be it. So I will catch you on the next one, Big Justin. Do what you do. Be who you be. And I'll see you before you see me. Good night.
So I want to get into real estate, but don't know where to start.
Well, what I would say is to join the Future Cash Flow Club. It's a community of investors where we talk about wholesaling, we talk about creative deal structuring, buying houses subject to, all of the creative stuff that everybody's talking about. You don't need a real estate license or any of that.
Wow, where do I sign up?
Well, I would say go to futurecashflowclub.com. That's futurecashflowclub.com. You can even get a free trial. Try it out today. So yes, I basically just wanted to remind everybody exactly how the Future Cash Flow Club works, because I've been getting a lot of messages like, what is that about? How does it work? It's basically a group. So you see how I do these live seller calls, things like that. You get to get all the replays for all of those. You actually can get the paperwork, purchase agreements, assignment agreements, cancellation agreements, addendums, all of that stuff that you need if you sign up for the elite package at futurecashflowclub.com. Or if easier, it's probably you can just go check it out for a free trial. Lots of goodies in there, behind the scenes stuff, actual help with your deals. If you want to communicate, say, hey, I'm stuck on a deal, I need some help, I'm looking for lenders, I'm looking for whatever, I'm a resource for you. So all you have to do is be part of the club. FutureCashflowClub.com. Check it out. I don't know what you've been doing. You been asleep? Let me wake you up with something. Straight up. Yeah. Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm Chris Monroe. R to the O-E. I flip houses, rent cars, and make money. You know I'm not no motherfucking dummy. This how we do.